Okay, so yesterday we were talking about using the addition rule for probability. So remember, this rule means that if you see the word or, you should think add. So you add the probability of each event happening and then subtract off the probability of the overlap. And if the events are mutually exclusive, if they're non-overlapping or disjoint, in other words, then that means that you just add the probabilities of each event happening to find the probability of this event happening or that event happening. So if we want to find the probability in this case, so here in this example, we have the frequency distribution shows the volume of sales in dollars and the number of months a sales representative reached each sales level during the past 3 years. If this sales pattern continues, what is the probability that the sales representative will sell between $75,000 and $124,999 in the next month? So to find this probability, so the probability that they're going to sell between $75,000 and $124,999, then basically what we have to do is that means we're going to be somewhere in that first range, $75,000 to $99,999, or you're in the range of $100,000 to $124,999. So then that means it's just going to be the probability that you're in that first range. So remember, probability is favorable over total. So the probability that you're going to be in that $75,000 to $99,999 is how many that you have in that area. So there are 7 in that area, divided by our total, which in this case is 36, because we're looking at a 3-year period. So that's the probability of being between $75,000 and $99,999. And then we have or, so we want to add to it. You're in the $100,000 to $124,999. And so that probability is going to be 9, because we have 9 people in that range out of 36. And in this case, those events are mutually exclusive because you're not going to be in both of those sales ranges at the same time. So we don't have any overlap that we need to worry about subtracting. So we add those two numbers together, the 736 and the 936, and you get 1636, which as a decimal is 0.444. So you've got a 44.4% chance that you're going to sell somewhere between $75,000 and $124,999 in the next month. As a shortcut to this, if you wanted to do this just by looking at the frequency table, right? Remember that your frequency is going to be favorable over total, still is going to be the probability. So the frequency is going to be the frequency that you're between 75,000 and the 124,999. So you could just add the 7 and 9, and that's going to give you 16 as your favorable frequency out of the 36 total. So you're still doing the same math, but you can jump there just a little bit faster. So let's look at another example. This time our data is given to us in a tabular format. So a blood bank catalogs the type of blood given by donors during the last 5 days. A donor is selected at random. What's the probability that the donor has type O or type A blood? So again, these two events are mutually exclusive. You're not going to have type O blood and type A blood. So the probability of having type O or type A blood is going to be the probability that you have type O blood plus the probability that you have type A blood. So again, when it comes to finding that probability of having type O blood, you want the total for type O. So favorable over the total. So our total for type O, which is our favorable, is 184 people who have type O blood out of our 409 total people. And then same thing for type A, we end up with 164 out of 409. And so we add those two together, and so we find the probability of having type O or A blood is 348 out of 409, which as a decimal is 0.851. So you've got an 85.1% chance of having type O or type A blood. So our next example is pretty similar to that. So we want to find the probability that somebody has type B or is type Rh negative blood. In this case, you can have overlap. So these events are not mutually exclusive. And so that just means that we have to be worried about subtracting the overlap. So subtracting off the area that we're counting twice. So if we're doing that, so the probability that you have B blood or Rh negative blood is going to be the probability that you have type B blood plus the probability that you have type Rh negative blood minus the probability that you have B and Rh negative blood. And that makes sense if you think about it. We're counting everybody who has type B blood, and we're counting everybody who has type Rh negative blood. And so we're counting that overlapping region, this 8, we're counting that twice. We're counting it when we count it for type B, and we're counting it when we count for type Rh negative. So that's why we have to subtract it off, because we only want to count it once. So the probability of having type B blood, that's everybody who has type B, 45 out of our 409 people, plus the probability you have type Rh negative, so that's going to be 65 out of the 409, minus our overlap that we counted twice, so minus those 8 people who have both type B and Rh negative blood out of the 409 people. And so we do that math and add and subtract, and you end up with 102 out of 409, or 0.249 for your probability. A shortcut, if you're looking at this in a table format, is you can actually just add up the numbers on the Rh negative row and the type B column, just counting each number once. So if I add up 28, 25, 8, 37, and 4, which are those numbers in that row and column, you should end up getting a sum of 102. And so that, again, just always thinking about it favorable over total, add up the numbers that give you what you want, in this case B or Rh negative, and then divide it by your total. So from here, you should be able to go forward and finish up number 1C, 2, and 3 in your course pack. And then you should also be able to finish complete the section 4.2 practice sheet that's on Moodle. So finish those problems up before Monday's class, and we'll be going over those a little bit in class on Monday.